Chesapeake Bay Retriever?
Chesapeake Bay.
Chesapeake Bay?
Chesapeake Bay Retriever.
I'm not a big dog guy. I didn't know what a
Chesapeake Bay is an actual location. It has nothing to do with dogs, but not a big history guy either, apparently.
Oh, okay. Chesapeake Retriever, anyways. And we dressed up for Halloween.
We did, despite Jaden never wanting to do that. About 6 or 7 of us were
My, how the turntables.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay, about 6 or 7 of us were standing around a tube.
It's not that funny.
Listening to a story of I can't say the next part with laughing. Okay.
If you're dead and you wanted to haunt me, I feel like that'd be pretty chill.
Okay. Hello and welcome to That Goes Awesome, the only podcast where everything goes awesome. I'm Christian.
And I'm dead.
Welcome to the spooky episode of That Goes Awesome, where we're going to be talking about all things Halloween because it's the best holiday. You got anything for me? I can't speak to the dead. I don't have the sixth sense. This is gonna be a little bit hard.
And we dressed up for Halloween.
We did, despite Jaden never wanting to do that.
If you're not watching the video form of this podcast, I actually would recommend this time.
Yeah, this is a good one to watch, I think.
Can I take it off
You're
now?
welcome to take it off, buddy.
Well,
it's alive! It's alive!
Hey guys.
It's Jaden the whole time.
It's me. I know. I'm sorry for the scary costume, but we are back, Christian.
We are.
The
ghost is not gone.
Spooky. Christian, how have you been?
I've been pretty good. How have you been?
Spooky.
Okay.
Are you a big Halloween guy?
I'm a massive Halloween guy. I love Halloween. How about you?
I like Halloween. It's one of my.
It doesn't sound like he likes it as much as I do.
It's one of my more preferred holidays. Probably, okay. I just like this time of year because my birthdays are right around Halloween.
That's fair.
So it's kind of like, ooh, it just all goes together. Ooh.
I don't really get to do it anymore.
Okay.
I love Halloween, but it's definitely front-loaded in your life holiday. Where as a kid, it's like Halloween is everything, but as an adult, you kind of have to make it Halloween. If you just go through the month, just chilling, Halloween isn't gonna happen really. You can, nobody comes to get candy at your door anymore. They all do trunk or treat now.
That's true. That's so sad.
I've never successfully had a kid come to my house whenever I have candy, and it makes me really sad because I used to love going to houses as a kid.
My mom,
for Halloween specifically.
My mom will always buy candy, but we never get trick or treaters.
Yeah, I just eat it.
She hopes every year we're gonna get trick or treaters, and maybe it's just because of where we live, but even back then. But now especially it is because everybody does trunk or treat. But.
It's so sad, but I love Halloween. It's definitely a tradition that needs to be kept alive. Do you ever watch any spooky movies, play any scary games, that kind of thing?
I like the scary movie. I like the scary movie movies.
The scary movie.
Yeah, those are actually great movies. But I mean, I like to watch spooky, actual scary movies and stuff.
I'm not a massive scary movie guy. I love scary video games. I think most scary movies I've watched, I just haven't been scared of, and I end up making fun of them the whole time.
Oh, me too.
I need to watch more.
Yeah, usually.
I definitely need to watch more. But I play a lot of scary games. But, so this is a spooky time, so we have to talk about scary stuff. So I have a question for you.
Okay.
Do you believe in the paranormal?
No.
You don't?
No, I don't.
I didn't until I saw a ghost at the beginning of this podcast. But no, I do agree. I'm definitely a skeptic when it comes to that kind of stuff. I want to believe in it really bad, but I have never seen anything convincing enough to believe in it.
I'm not the kind of guy to ever entirely rule something out.
I'm the same way.
But I am the same way as you said. I'm skeptical of it for sure. I would have to see really compelling evidence to believe that ghosts were real.
I'm absolutely the same way.
Most experiences that I've heard about, I can just see totally explained as a normal way if people actually thought about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It could be possible, but I just personally don't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen ghosts in my house because of sleep paralysis and stuff like that. So, like, in my eyes, there's always like the science-y way to rule it out. And like something like that, I think, is a good way. Like, you just like, most of the time, you see a ghost in the middle of the night because you're exhausted. I guess that kind of thing. I want to believe in it really bad, and there's definitely been times whenever like I've had creepy stuff happen that I'm like, that's I kind of can't explain that right now, but I'm sure there is an explanation for it. Like I think it's my stepmom and I have talked about how the downstairs of our house, which is the part that I live in, is like really creepy at nighttime, and how like specifically our den area is just like really creepy when all the lights are off and everything like that. And I don't like walking past it at nighttime, but like it's like I haven't seen enough to think anything's there. I mean, I've seen like stuff move, but it's just like probably air conditioning blowing the curtain or whatever. So like I want to believe in it.
Yeah.
I mean, not in my house. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to believe in it in my house. But my sister, for example, like she believes in it, and she used to work at a movie theater really close to my house that shut down over like COVID time. And everyone who worked there believed it was haunted. And I like texted her earlier today, telling her I was doing a Halloween episode of the podcast to see if she like had any specific things that she had like remembered. And she talked about how like in like the kitchen area there were like boxes that had been on top of the fridge for like multiple years that just randomly just like fell off out of nowhere one day without anything touching them. She talked about how one day while she was cleaning a theater, like a wooden block like flew past her head, and she said that she had multiple guests complain about like a hand in front of the projector screen.
Yeah.
And projectors turning on by themselves and shadowy figures moving past the ticket booth that no one used anymore. So like I didn't see any of that stuff. I went to that theater all the time, but I mean they worked there. But like it's hard for me to believe it when I haven't seen it, you know?
Yeah. Again, if something happened to me, maybe I would feel differently. If something happened directly to me, it's just hard for me to believe because I haven't witnessed stuff like that, and to me, it seems like it can all be ruled out by, like you said, a scientific way. But it's just crazy to me that there's some people that like devote their entire lives to like ghost hunting and
I
believing
know.
in.
I think we should go ghost hunting one day.
Okay, well,
I
I
think
mean,
that'd be a great podcast. Not
Go-
podcast episode, but like a YouTube channel.
ghost hunting goes awesome. I think I broke my sunglasses.
That does not go awesome. But like I think it'd be really fun to just like go to a place that's considered haunted and just try to like ghost hunt.
That would be pretty funny.
That'd be especially as two people who don't believe in it.
I know, crazy ghost vlog, and then we'll see at the end if we
if we change our minds.
Yeah, if we believe in it.
I think that's a great idea.
See, this probably would have never happened because I would have been too much of a pansy. But if we did like went to a haunted house or something, like just something together, like to try and like vlog or something, I don't know if they probably wouldn't let us. We have to go to like something specific where they'd actually let us
you'd have
vlog.
to be. I think you have to be a bigger YouTuber to get permission to do that. Because at that point, like buy out the place for the full day or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know, something like that would have been really cool.
oh yeah, I would love to do that. That'd be awesome.
And I would have been such a scaredy cat. It would have been great content.
Yeah. Are you like scared of a dark or anything like that?
I'm not scared of the dark per se, but I am like I'm very jumpy.
Yeah. Okay.
You've seen me in like a haunted house before. So
I have. Yeah.
You've seen how I just scream at the top of my lungs and just grab onto people and drag them down with me.
I have a much more internal reaction to fear. So like I don't jump really. If somebody like jump scares me, it's just like either it does not scare me at all or it's purely just inside. I'm like, whoa. But the outside me, I'm just like completely straight face, just standing still. But I mean, it can still get me. But like I'm much more like anxious when it comes to like fear. Like it was like just a few weeks ago. I was letting my dogs out at like 12 a.m. It was just pitch black outside, and as I walk out, every single like light, like lamp post or whatever they're called, outside of like in my neighborhood turned off all at the exact same time. And then after they went off, the one right in front of my house came on, and just stayed on for a few seconds before all of them came back on. And I was like, I don't like that at all. But like. Once again, there's explanations for that. It was just like weird power stuff. So like, obviously in the moment I was like, I don't like that. I'm gonna go back inside, and I did. But like, I didn't like. I think I still left my door unlocked that night. Like, so it's something that I definitely want to believe, but I don't.
You want to believe it?
Do you want to? Do you not?
I don't think I want to believe it. Why would I want to believe that ghosts exist?
Because I think it's cool to think about.
No, it's not. I mean, if that was real, that'd be scary. I just don't think it's real.
That's fair.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, like if I could actually be haunted by somebody, I wouldn't want
No,
that.
yeah, no, I don't want that, but I do want to believe that it
I mean, I
exists.
guess it depends who it is. Like, if you're dead and you wanted to haunt me, like, I feel like that'd be pretty chill.
Okay.
Like, if
I would not make it chill.
yeah, come on, dude. What
I
the
would
heck?
like you'd like be walking around your house and you'd hear a noise in the bathroom and it's just me going like that to your toilet paper. Just like...
That's so messed up. What the heck? Oh,
Do you believe in like cryptids or anything like that?
what does that mean?
Like, it's like I'm trying to think of how to explain it. It's like creatures that may or may not exist, like Bigfoot, the Loch Ness monster, stuff
Oh,
like that.
no.
You don't?
Okay, the Loch Ness monster. Why'd I say it like
The
that?
Loch Ness monster.
The Loch Ness monster. That I feel like could be real for sure. That's like probably real.
I don't think that one of all of them is because it's just in a lake, and I felt we would have seen it by now for
Oh,
sure.
in a lake.
Yes.
I thought it was like in the ocean.
No.
Okay, well maybe
It's
not.
named after the lake, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't studied up on my lore. But something like Bigfoot, I don't think is real. I think somebody just saw a human, like a big hairy guy one time, and just said, "Hey, that's Bigfoot." I mean, I think it's just case by case scenario. I think if anything like that exists, it's just an animal.
Yeah. It's another thing. This one I genuinely do absolutely want to be real. I think the idea of cryptids are awesome. Like it's about the Mothman. Do you know anything about that?
No.
It's like just a big old half moth, half man like hybrid thing, where it's just like a big fuzzy moth thing that has like red eyes and stuff like that, and like is rumored to like appear before tragedies. So like I think one of the first sightings of it was like it was seen right on top of a bridge that collapsed like 2 days later and stuff like that. And like there's like the whole debate over if it's real, is it like bringing those disasters or is it warning humanity of them, that kind of thing. Stuff like that's awesome to me.
That's cool if
I
it's
don't
real.
yeah, I know. I don't believe in any of it. I want to, but it's just like it's too coincidental that like we're in 2025 and still if there's a Bigfoot sighting it's with like a 1990s camera or whatever that you can barely see through. It's just like I'm gonna need some actual evidence to ever be convinced.
Have we talked about aliens on this podcast?
No, do you have anything that like you want to mention? Because
I mean, just something like that. It reminded me like if it was a sign from somebody else to warn humanity, it could have been like an alien thing.
yeah,
But I don't know if I believe that there's actual other life forms to that extent out there. I do believe there's other aliens, as in
yeah,
other
okay.
life on other planets, but I don't know if I believe there's other life to like the humanity level.
Okay,
What's your opinion on aliens?
I believe that it is extremely highly improbable that there's no other life out there.
Agreed.
I just don't think it makes enough sense to me that like out of all the solar systems that we don't have access to because we can't really leave ours, that out of all those other planets out there, just like an infinite amount, that there's not some other life out there. Yeah. This doesn't really make sense to me.
There has to be life.
Has to be.
I mean, because life can be something so small.
Yeah, there could be a worm on Mars.
Yeah.
That's still an alien, technically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's probably worms, smaller than worms, little guys like that are on all kinds of different planets on all kinds of different solar systems that we'll probably never know about, at least in our lifetime.
Yeah. I would love to know about them. I want to know what's going on those other planets, why they exist.
Well, we're gonna do a galaxy vlog one day.
True.
I don't know. All I know is the Milky Way, but another galaxy goes awesome.
We travel to another galaxy.
Yeah. The Milky Way went awesome. That's a send off to the podcast.
Earth went awesome, and it's just like us like ejecting and then Earth just exploding.
Okay, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Oh yeah, I think that would suck. But like, so okay, we're both obviously very skeptical people.
Which one of us wasn't?
What do you mean?
That'd be a more interesting topic or like debate if one of us like was hell bent on there being like.
It'd be me.
Yeah.
'Cause I truly want it to exist. I feel like I'm the type of person that would get killed chasing the ghost.
Come here! I need to prove you're alive.
Do you exist? Do you exist? Running straight into a
It's just
with
me.
a knife.
It's me in a ghost costume. No, stop.
TikTok idea.
Oh.
But yeah, I think. I think it's Ghost Adventures or something like that. It's like the series where it's like one guy who wholeheartedly believes the paranormal exists and another guy who is extremely skeptical, and he takes the friend the skeptical to places to ghost hunt. That'd be fun.
That would be fun for sure.
I think a ghost hunting vlog, if we can ever find the balls to do that
Okay.
would be hype.
Before we get into more spooky stories, I do have like a little short story about
Okay.
something that happened today. It was really funny.
Is it spooky?
I guess you could say it's spooky. It's really not, but
Okay.
we're gonna roll with it just because it's really funny and I have to tell it today. So I was just sitting in my car before, or like I was going to practice, but I was like eating in my car beforehand. So I was just sitting in the parking garage, right? And there's an open spot beside me, and I'm gonna try and make this spooky. So I'm sitting there, right? And there's an open spot beside me. Then all of a sudden, this girl, it doesn't matter that she was a girl, by the way, but this girl turns to go into this parking spot, okay?
Okay.
And she, like, slightly misses the turn. Like, she, like, makes it, but, like, she has to back out to... Sorry. She has to back out to readjust herself, okay? And so she does, and she backs out, and she's, like, straight to, like, go into it now. Like, she's fixed.
Uh-huh.
And then I expect her to, you know, like you do, she just slowly creep up and park in the spot. Right? She does not do that. I don't know if it was a ghost or what. She floors it. Freaking floors it after adjusting her angle. And she drives straight into the wall. I kid you not, in the parking garage. I'm sitting there like eating my cookout, and then this girl just straight into the wall. And then she just stood there or like sat there for a minute, then put it in reverse and backed up, and then put it in park and just sat there. She never got out of her car to check it or anything.
That's insane. That happens often.
It made a loud noise too.
That's hilarious.
So
That's insane.
She just floored it into the wall.
That's actually crazy.
I was like, there's no way I just witnessed that.
Not checking on it is even more crazy.
Yeah, and then I sat in my car, finished eating for like another like 10, 15 minutes. And then I got out and she was still sitting in the car. I don't know if she was traumatized or what. She was just
Probably.
Yeah. Well, I would have got out and looked in
No,
my
yeah, I
car.
definitely would have looked at it for sure.
I don't, or maybe like she turned and made eye contact with me, so maybe it was just way too awkward for her to get out.
But she probably got out the second you left.
She was probably just hoping I didn't notice, but I don't know how I wouldn't have. Like, it was loud. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
It was like she missed the turn. She backs up to like fix her parking job, and then just right into the wall. I don't know what she was trying to do.
That's awesome.
Anyways, sorry. More spooky stories. Ooh,
So spooky. So clearly we're both skeptics and we don't believe in all that kind of stuff. So I have gone ahead and gathered multiple spooky stories, mostly of the paranormal variety.
Okay.
To see if we can maybe get slightly more convinced by the end of this episode that ghosts exist.
I like it.
So I'm gonna have you hand me the iPad because I'm on the other side of the room. But
ooh, spooky! How'd it get over there?
But can you give me the iPad?
I have the iPad, and now that I have the iPad, I'm getting a call. Hold on. Breaking news! Welcome back to your spooky weird news. Today on your spooky weird news, scary human-like snowman will give you chills. Is this Christmas or Halloween? A creepy snowman shaped like a naked man is giving Hot Frosty some competition. Spotted in South Korea, the white figure was sculpted to look like he's peeking out from behind a tree and smirking. Sending shivers across social media, no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
You changed your voice like 15 times.
It was spooky.
Now it is time. Spooky voice.
Activate.
Escaped monkeys destroyed after Mississippi police are mistakenly told they're in danger.
Ooh.
A number of monkeys were destroyed after they got loose Tuesday morning and Mississippi law enforcement officers were mistakenly told they were dangerous. The rhesus monkeys are being transported when the truck carrying them crashed in Jasper County, Mississippi, about 70 miles east of Jackson, the Jasper County Sheriff's Department said in a statement. The vehicle driver told deputies that the primates posed a threat to humans, that they were aggressive, that they had hepatitis C, herpes, and COVID. The biggest fear in all of America. Herpes. And that they would require personal protective equipment to handle, the sheriff's department said on Facebook. The driver of the truck told local law enforcement that the monkeys were dangerous and posed a threat to humans. We took the appropriate actions after being given that information from the person transporting the monkeys. The department said the monkeys are being hauled from the Tulane University. The school said that its National Biological Research Center provides primates to other research organizations to advance science, and that the monkeys in question were not infectious. In a statement to NBC News Tuesday night, the university said the monkeys belonged to a third party. The primates in question belong to another entity. Another entity. God, perhaps? And that they have not been exposed to any infectious agent. The non-human primates were not being transported by Tulane, but we are actively collaborating with local authorities and are sending a team of animal care experts to assist. The sheriff's department did not specify how many monkeys, which it said weighed about 40 pounds each, were on board the truck. The sheriff's department said it contacted an animal disposal firm to take the carcasses at the scene. It also said Tulane would not send a team to pick up the monkeys. Oh, they would send a team, my bad. To pick up the monkeys who remained caged and did not escape. Jasper County Sheriff Randy Johnson did not immediately respond to a request for comment.
9 little monkeys jumping on a bed.
Jumping out of a truck.
Out of a truck, and one fell off and dressed up like Hot Frosty.
Got destroyed.
And that concludes our spooky, weird news. Well, that was spooky. I told you I had it.
You had it, okay.
Anyways, what? Ghosts are real.
It never does this. So, okay, we don't believe ghosts are real, which is why we're reading all these stories. So, I have a collection of random stories, mostly paranormal. There's a few that are not, but just to give a blanket trigger warning, there's a few of them that deal with some very rough topics, such as like suicide and that kind of thing. There's a lot of like probably some mental health stuff in here, and it's like if that bothers you, it might not be a good idea to continue listening to this one. But if you're good, we're good.
We've discussed on the podcast before our opinions on mental health and our opinions on therapy and all that. So, to summarize all that, basically, if you ever feel any type of way, like you need help, don't be scared to ask for help. Go to therapy, talk to somebody, people care about you, and your life matters.
The spookiest thing in the world, talking to people about your feelings.
Real.
Okay, so first one comes from Ask Reddit, which Ask Reddit is basically just, it's the largest subreddit in the world. I can't explain why that's funny, but it's the largest subreddit in the world, and it's like basically it's just people go on and they'll post a question, and then the people in the comments will answer it.
Okay.
So
disclaimer: at least most of these stories, Christian knows, and I have not heard at all.
Yeah. A few of them I just skimmed before picking them, but this one is from Ask Reddit and says, "What is the creepiest thing that has ever actually happened to you?" I went on a guided cemetery tour at night. About 6 or 7 of us were standing around the tomb. About 6 or 7 of us were standing.
My, how the turntables.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay, about 6 or 7 of us were standing around the tomb.
It's not that funny.
Listening to a story of. I can't say the next part with laughing. Okay. About 6 or 7 of us were standing around the tomb listening to a story of how the inhabitant had killed himself with a gun.
Sorry, I can't find the hole.
Are you putting the ghost costume back on?
I can't find the hole.
I'd have to wait until you...
No.
You're not going to listen if I don't say it now.
Okay, I'm listening.
We were standing around a tomb listening to the story of how the inhabitant had killed himself with a gun, when all of a sudden there was a big flash and the whole sky lit up green with smaller flashes. We found out later that we had witnessed a meteor breaking up. So the tour guide takes a moment, recovers from the surprise, and continues his story about how some decades after the poor chap had killed himself, someone broke into his tomb and stole his skull. We then moved on and walked further into a cemetery when we were startled by a loud bang. We shrugged it off as a car backfiring, laughed nervously at how on edge we were, and continued the tour. Shortly after, we hear a couple more bangs in quick succession, and one of the tour party commented that they were pretty sure they were gunshots. There's another bang, closer, definitely a gunshot. Then we saw a light in between some of the headstones, and I kid you not, we saw the figure of a man carrying a shotgun, slowly coming from the direction of the tomb we had just been at. We froze. I looked over to the tour guide, thinking it was some prank he plays on all his customers, but he was completely white and was backing away. It was a man with a shotgun, and he was walking towards us. He lifted a flashlight and pointed it directly at us. Several of us ducked behind the headstones as he yelled, "Get out of here! What the heck are you doing in this place?" Turns out the city council pays some guy to shoot possums in the cemetery, and they forgot to warn the tour company. Imagine being in that situation. Imagine being alive.
Woo! Sorry. I'll put the sheet away.
Did you get any of that?
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah, you did not get any of that, did you?
There was the tomb. That was spooky.
Okay.
That
would be really scary. It's just seeing a guy with a gun in the cemetery, especially right after being told that the guy whose tomb you're at just had killed himself with a gun, and you see a guy from that direction walking at you with a gun after seeing lights and hearing bangs throughout the cemetery. Okay, so this is from another Ask Reddit.
Okay.
Cops and other law enforcement people of Reddit, what were some cases you worked on that made you think, even if for a moment, that something supernatural / paranormal was going on? So this is our first properly paranormal one.
Okay.
So this is the comment. It says, "This is unexplained and probably just coincidence, but I still never mention it to my coworkers. I spent some time as a homicide investigator. We would respond to all apparent suicides and investigate them just to make sure it wasn't a homicide. Usually, we determined a motive for suicide and found a note or other indicator that the person killed themselves. One guy just taped a note to his chest that said, 'Happy now, B-word,' and made sure his wife found him after he hanged himself. But occasionally, you get a case where all forensic evidence indicates the person killed themselves, but there's no note and no discernible reason for why this person would be suicidal. There are people in good health with decent careers and a seemingly happy family life, but who knows what's really going on with someone. Here's the part that freaks me out. I've worked maybe 10 suicides like this. The last 3 before I left a homicide all had the same thing at the scene. There were these little decorative wicker lighthouses at each location. It was the same lighthouse, same design, and painted white and blue. It stuck out to me the first time because it was by the bed where the body was, but 2 weeks later, I saw the dang lighthouse on another suicide and even pointed out the coincidence to a fellow patrol officer. A few months later, I go on another suicide and see the same wicker lighthouse. That's when it clicked that it's always been unexplained suicides. I go back and look at the crime scene photos from every suicide I've worked. In 2 of them, I see what could be the wicker lighthouse, but the angle is off and there's too much junk around to say for sure. I don't know. I thought it was creepy, but I transferred a couple of months later and I let it go." So, there's just a man just going around investigating suicides, and he just keeps finding this exact same lighthouse at different places with unexplained suicides.
I mean, there could be a connection, but what are the chances it's just a coincidence?
The same one, it's pretty high coincidence. But I think it's fun to look at these with both sides. Mm-hmm. It's trying to think, because yeah, it definitely could be a coincidence. That's the whole point of what we were talking about with the ghost earlier. But also, it's fun to think about the other side. There were some people commenting on it it could have been a serial killer, and that was his calling card, that kind of thing. Which that's the most realistic option. Beside it, unless we're just going with coincidence, was also a pretty realistic option. Mm-hmm. But either way, that would mess me up
for sure,
big time.
I mean, that's something
and seeing I hate that, but seeing some in the same places beside beds and stuff like that. One of the comments to this guy says, "Man, you're gonna wake up one night and there'll be a decorative wicker lighthouse on your bedside table." That'd be terrifying. You wake up and you see one and you know you're cooked.
Oh my god, that'd be terrible.
No, yeah, that's awful. But
that's pretty scary.
Yeah, that's definitely a creepy thing to think about, and especially as someone going into that kind of career, mm-hmm. As crime scene investigation. That's something like that would actually mess me up pretty bad. So we got another one. This was a very short one, but Redditors who live in a haunted house. What are the most unexplainable paranormal experiences? And this guy says, "Closest I've got to a haunted house is a haunted room. I used to sleep on the second floor, the bottom one being the first, and my sister in the attic. She used to have sleep paralysis very often. Then she moved out, and now I have her old room. She no longer has sleep paralysis, but I do.
Oh,
As someone with sleep paralysis, that's terrifying.
it's connected to the room.
Yeah. The thought of that is actually awful. The thought of like, because obviously sleep paralysis, I've talked about it before. It's just like you're waking up halfway through sleep and your body's still asleep, but your mind isn't, and you start projecting your nightmares into real life. Is like the simplest way to put it.
Mhm.
But like the thought of like the stuff that you see actually being what you're seeing is always like the kind of thing that messes you up if you have sleep paralysis.
So have you had sleep paralysis in different rooms?
Yeah, I've had it on the couch in the upstairs of my house. I've had it in both of my bedrooms. Got swapped bedrooms, and I had it in my bedroom at my mom's house.
So how would you explain it being connected to a room?
I can't. That's weird. Um, I I don't know.
It's real. That's the explanation. Their
Sleep,
demons are real.
sleep paralysis is a very serious thing. Uh, I had it a lot. I'm mostly better, but still have it every once in a while. But my sister never had it until like probably a year or so after I told her that I had it. So I'm thinking that maybe there's a chance that like talking about it with people like gives them a higher chance of getting it. I don't know the science behind that, but like the dreams are really wacky. What? You scared you're gonna get sleep paralysis now?
Yeah. You've talked about it to me so much.
I've talked about it to so many people, and the only person I've ever had say that they have it now too is my sister.
I didn't know sleep paralysis demons were contagious.
Maybe it runs in the family.
Uh,
So
I'm scared. I'm spooked out.
stay away from my bloodline, and you'll be good.
I plan on it.
Okay.
Don't know what that's supposed to be.
People who used to not believe in ghosts but do now, what experience changed your mind? This is a good one for people like us.
Yeah,
this
us.
is an us situation. So, my wife and I swear that our daughter used to talk to ghosts when she was a toddler. She was an only child at the time. For instance, I remember was her telling, I don't know why, first instance I remember, my bad, I'm just tweaking, was her telling me that she was talking to Nana. That's what I called my grandmother, who passed about 15 years before my daughter was born. My daughter was young, and so I hadn't even talked about Nana to her. So I showed her a picture and asked who she spoke to. There were 4 women, 3 of which I didn't even know, and without hesitation she pointed to my Nana. Okay, no biggie. Some months later, big biggie in my opinion, that's kind of creepy. But some months later, my wife and I are trying for baby number 2. You have to tell us that.
Why did he have to include that?
I forgot, that's actually kind of important. After my wife gets pregnant, my daughter is sitting next to her on the couch and puts her head on her belly and says, "Mommy, there's a baby in there." Okay, maybe it's just a coincidence. She overheard us saying something. A few weeks later, my wife miscarries. Maybe my daughter picked up on our sadness, who knows, but again, she puts her head on her stomach and says, "Mommy, there's no baby in here anymore." Then several months and one more very early miscarriage later, my daughter tells us, "I was talking to my brother last night, and he said that my sister is coming to live with me soon." Again, she's an only child and had no parentheses living brother. We were still trying at this point, but had not taken any test. We picked one up that night, and sure enough, pregnant. When time came to reveal the gender, I wasn't even interested. My daughter had already said it was a girl. Sure enough, I have 2 daughters. That's creepy.
That is really
That's
creepy.
really creepy.
I feel like I've heard stuff before about just kids, especially when they're young, just having, I don't know if it's like really good intuition or what, but I feel like I've heard an example of something like this before, and I don't have a good explanation to it. It's hard to predict all that's a crazy coincidence, assuming everything that you read was real.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've heard stuff like that before. I don't know if kids when they're younger they just have that intuition where like they just feel things, or if there's actually some other type of explanation as to how they know things like that.
Yeah, it's so weird. I've heard like a lot of like from people who like believe in the paranormal talk about how like stuff like dogs and like young children have like a bigger connection to like the spirit world or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So like if that's the paranormal explanation, I guess for that. But like as you're saying, like kids have like very rampant minds. She could have just been saying stuff, but like
Yeah.
the fact that she like pointed out her Nana that she's never met and never been talked to, and like knew it was called Nana,
Yeah,
like that kind of thing.
A lot of that in the beginning could have been stuff like that. I think it mentioned in the story that she overheard at some point.
Yeah, she
or
could have overheard, is what they say.
you maybe just were talking about it when you didn't realize that she could hear it, and she just picks up on stuff like that. And children say a lot of things; their mouth is going like all the time.
Yeah,
So it's when they say something that's correct like that, that's always going to be something you pick up on. You're not
for
going to
sure.
listen to everything they
Yeah.
say. So a lot of that could be explained, but it's a crazy coincidence if
I,
that's the case.
as
But
the mom or the dad, I would be very scared of my child in that situation, probably.
yeah, but the fact that she correctly guessed that her mom was pregnant again and that it was going to be another daughter is
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it 50-50 chance, but
it is still creepy. But yeah, I do agree. It could just be a coincidence, but it's still weird for sure.
children just have that like I keep using the word intuition,
It's a
but
mindset that like gets hammered out of you the older you get. Whether you're just like as a kid, you're just willing to see and think so many things that you just don't as an adult.
that's
Um,
that's just weird.
yeah, for sure. Uh, yep, we keep giving all these like excuses and stuff like that. We're gonna have like one of our fans be like a diehard paranormal fan, and they're gonna be like, guys, it's ghosts. Stop.
Ooh.
Okay, so it's the same thread about not believing in ghosts, but do now. Um, I'm still not sure if I believe, but there have been some weird things in my life that I can't explain. When I was 5 years old, I woke up in the night and my grandma was standing at the end of my bed wearing a teal blue skirt and a matching blouse. I remember that it was summer and the sky was still light, but not light enough for me to read, so I guess it was about 9 p.m. I sat up, she put her finger to her lips, and I rubbed my eyes a couple of times because I was sleepy, and when I looked back, she had gone. I just snuggled back under the covers thinking how nice it was to see her because I hadn't seen her in ages, and I was hoping she'd still be there when I woke up. Next morning, my house was eerily quiet. My mom was in a worse mood than normal, but she had been crying, so I asked her what was wrong. My grandma died the night before. She had been crossing a road after bingo at 8:30 p.m., about 60 miles away from where we had lived. She had a massive brain hemorrhage in the middle of the road and didn't even make it to the other side, let alone to my house 60 miles away. She was wearing a teal blue skirt and a matching blouse. Anything? Trying to
I
think of an explanation.
I no, not like a scientific explanation, but depending on where you're at spiritually, I feel like it almost ties to the paranormal, kinda, but I feel like that could just be explained spiritually if you believe in Christianity, if you believe in all that, because it's almost
I
like
do. So-
I know, and I also have grown up Christian, and that's just why I feel like stuff like that's my only explanation. Is literally like seeing an angel, basically, or you're seeing her like on her way to go to heaven. But the fact that assuming all that's real, that's just that's crazy that she's wearing the exact same thing.
yeah, for sure. The Somebody responded and asked if like she had ever like told anyone. I think she had told her mom, and she said I told my dad, but my dad told me to never tell mom about it. Which that's also kind of like that's your dad apparently believed you, I guess, enough to not want to tell her mom. But yeah, that's also just really sucks, just because
I mean,
death in the
it's
family is just always
so
sad.
sad.
Um, this one's not paranormal, but it's a good one. So this is a post that says long haul truckers. What's the creepiest, most paranormal thing you've seen on the road at night? This is my father's story, and he wasn't a long haul trucker, but rather an 18-year-old gas station attendant in the late 70s. And without a certain long haul trucker, I probably wouldn't be here. The gas station was 24 hours, and my dad was the only one working the night shift. A guy comes in and just gives him the creeps. Seems sketchy. He was wearing tight jacket slash pants, and he could tell he had something in his pants under the jacket. It was during the summer and was warm, so why is he wearing a jacket to begin with? It was later confirmed he was on drugs. A lot of truck drivers use this station as it was the only one open 24 hours for a long stretch of the highway. They also had a big lot where the truckers park and sleep and take a break. On this night, it was just my dad, a sketchy dude, and one trucker in there he kinda knew, as in came in frequent enough to be conversational. He had asked him if he'd stay in the gas station and hang out until the sketchy guy left. Well, after looking at the stock shelves for several minutes while sneaking peeks at my dad behind the counter, the sketchy guy eventually looked fed up, hopped into his blue car, and sped off. The cool trucker guy hung out with my dad a little longer until another couple of guys came in to use the booth they had to eat a sandwich. I should also point out this was pretty middle of nowhere, rural southeast United States in the 1970s. CB and landline was it. My dad only had a landline in the store. Dad did not have any protection or a weapon of any kind. So the hours passed and my dad had shaken off the paranoia when all of a sudden, this guy in a car comes hauling butt into the lot, jumps out, and sprints into the store hollering he needs a phone. He didn't have a CB, nor did he see a phone at the other station. He also wasn't familiar with the area, and my dad's station was the first place he found. Calls 911 to report that he had walked in on a gas station 40 miles back, the next closest gas station, to find the attendant shot and dead. No one else around, and the only other piece of information is that a blue car was speeding out of the lot when the trucker pulled in. Apparently, they eventually apprehend the guy in the blue car. My dad confirms it was the sketchy guy from earlier in the night, and they charge him with murder and armed robbery. To the long haul trucker who waited around with my dad that night, thanks, and I hope you're keeping it real. That's terrifying. For sure.
A job like that is so scary to have, and just thinking about situations like that.
For sure. I'm already scared of gas stations at nighttime. So, like, I cannot imagine working in one overnight and being the only worker there.
That'd be terrible.
No, I would hate that. That's awful.
That's like a top 10 sketchiest settings you could be in.
Yeah, no, that sucks. And like, good that he had the bringing the word again, intuition to like think about the fact that the creepy guy's creepy. I feel like that's a normal thing.
Yeah.
If your gut tells you somebody's creepy, they're probably creepy enough to not trust them.
My gut told me that you were all right.
Thank you. I appreciate your gut telling you that.
You're welcome.
So we got another story. This one I've actually known for very many years. I read this one a very long time ago. This is a long one, and I'm going to pass it to you to read some that I don't know after this one.
Okay.
This is from the same thread from earlier, the one that says, what is the creepiest thing that has ever actually happened to you? It says, I've been waiting a long time to tell Reddit the full story of the Whistler. The story requires many details, but it's unexplainable, creepy, and 100% true. I also have video evidence. When I was about 8 years old, I was taking my dog for a walk through the neighborhood with my mom. It was maybe 11 p.m. We lived next to a swamp/woods area on the edge of our neighborhood in Lansing, Michigan. I remember it being very silent and slightly windy. From down in the swamp, we heard somebody whistling at us. It sounded sort of like a bird, but each whistle was different enough where the lack of consistency made it human-like. The whistle sounded higher, then lower. I can't really describe it. My mom had a concerned, slightly terrified look on her face and grabbed my hand and said we should go inside quickly. I didn't understand because I was too young, but seeing my mom freak out made me freak out too. After a while, though, I kind of forgot about it. 2 years later, I was taking my dog out again, late at night. There's a large bush that could easily obscure a person behind it, just next to the front door. After finishing the walk, I noticed the whistling noise started again. Same pitches, same inconsistent human-like tones. As soon as I heard it, a chill went down my spine as I remembered exactly the feeling of seeing my mom, terrified, looking down in the swamp at something I couldn't see. Maybe she couldn't either. And I ran inside as fast as possible. Years went by and I thought about it less and less. Only told a handful of people, and eventually it slipped from my mind. Fast forward to last summer. I'm 24, started dating my girl Sarah. We moved out to South Dakota. My girl Sarah. We moved out to South Dakota for work. For Independence Day, we decided to go to Pierre, South Dakota, and watch the fireworks along the bank of the Missouri River. There was a free camping spot behind a hospital where you could pitch your tent, hang out, and see the fireworks up the river. We were near the end of the campground, and there were very few people around us. As it was getting dark, the fireworks began. They were pretty far away, so the illumination they brought was very little. Thus, we had to sit right at the edge of the river to be able to see them. A huge thunderhead was moving in and a storm was imminent, so the air seemed electric and the wind was picking up. The atmosphere was eerie to say the least. The police boats herded all the other boats off the river and had left our area to do that elsewhere. Most of the other campers walked up the river to have a better view of the fireworks, but Sarah and I stayed back and were drinking PBR tall boys and kicking it. Suddenly, these guys are chill as heck. Suddenly, we heard the sound of a paddle methodically dipping into the water. We saw a figure steering a canoe about 20 meters offshore. Sarah decided to go get more beers from the car, leaving me alone to stare at the mystery person. And then, of course, they whistled at me. My entire body was frozen and covered in goosebumps. It was the exact same whistle from my childhood, more than a decade earlier. I looked at the figure, but it was much too dark to discern who it could be. They were wearing a hat. When they were perpendicular to the shore from me, they stopped paddling, turned the canoe to face directly at me, and whistled right at me. I was so frightened I stood up and shouted at them, "Who are you?" They didn't say anything, just whistled a couple more times and turned the canoe 180 degrees and paddled out of sight. And then he spends the rest of it just like talking about how he has like video footage, but we don't need to talk about that because we can't show the video footage. But what do you think about that? 'Cause I've read that so many years ago.
So this whistler just followed him like his whole life.
But he hasn't seen it in years.
Yeah, was it only 3 appearances?
It was like once whenever he was with his mom,
Yeah.
once when he was younger but by himself, and then once when he was 24, like 9 years later.
Yeah, it just keeps reappearing in his life.
Yeah.
I mean, for it to be the exact same whistle, it has to be like the same person or the same associated people.
Yeah.
The people that are doing it like together or whatever. But
he's in a
yeah.
different location now. That's the creepy part. That he's moved.
So they're following him.
So like one of the comments to it makes a joke like how the funny picture of him just having a psychotic breakdown at some poor random guy who's canoeing just whistling. Cause like yeah, realistically, it's probably not the same whistle that he heard. Like not the same exact pitch, or maybe it's just like coincidentally, it's just like a common tune that he never heard or whatever. But like the thought of that is terrifying. Cause like why was his mom scared of it?
Yeah.
That's the part that he really never talks about is how why was he never did he ever talk to his mom about that?
His mom used to hear it all her life growing up.
Maybe because like I've definitely heard stuff like that, like post talking about like family like things where they've all like experienced something, and like that's just creepy.
It reminds me of like Negan from The Walking Dead. Imagine just hearing him whistle, and then like you were in there when you're in the lineup when Negan first gets introduced, and you hear his like iconic.
I know what you're talking
You
about.
hear his iconic whistle, and then like just years later, you hear that whistle again. That's still a common thing in The Walking Dead. You hear Negan's whistle, and then you know something bad's about to happen.
That I would be traumatized though if I
Yeah.
was sitting at the edge of that water, haven't thought about it in like 10 years, and all of a sudden I just hear the whistle from my childhood.
Can you whistle? I can't whistle.
I don't think he heard that. Imagine there's a guy in a canoe and he hears.
He can't whistle.
That's awesome. Okay, so now I'm gonna like just find a random post, and I'm gonna let
Okay.
you go through the comments and just read stories that you
Okay.
think.
Works for me. Let me take my glasses off so I can read. Spooky. Okay, Christian.
It feels weird being on the receiving end of this.
I know you're not used to receiving.
I'm not.
Okay. What's your creepiest glitch in the Matrix or unexplainable thing that's ever happened to you? This is again from Ask Reddit. Here, one of the top comments here. I remember being pretty young, like 9 or 10, and I was in the car park of a pub in England, the South End. I remember seeing someone in their teens in the window of a house looking over the car park. They waved at me, and I felt like I knew them somehow. My parents asked who I was waving at, and I said just some lady in the window over there. Didn't think much of it. Fast forward 10 years, I was at my nan's new house. I remember walking into her room, which I never was allowed to do, going to the window. I realized I was in the house looking over that same parking lot and remembered that interaction years before. Then a girl around 9 or 10 who was in said car park waved at me and I waved back. Felt like I knew her. Could not explain it and I've never told anyone about it. It freaked me out.
Interesting. So it's just like
You go.
I feel like that one's kind of just easily explainable. I think it's just like a coincidence that two people just look through the same window, right?
Yeah, but it's interesting to think it's like the roles reversed. It's like she was waving at herself.
Oh, I see what you mean.
She was 9 or 10 in the car park waving at somebody. And then fast forward a bunch of years later, she was in the house waving at somebody that was 9 or 10 at the car park.
I think I got like, mixed up of where they were waving from. That's actually really creepy.
Yeah. Because she'd never been in that house before. And it's like she was just waving at herself.
That's wild.
I know.
Also very cool.
Yeah.
But wild.
Another glitch in the Matrix.
Okay.
When I was a teenager, my family lived in a big 115-year-old brick house. Plenty of creepy stuff happened, but one night I was heading to bed when the door between the first floor kitchen and the basement stairs absolutely slammed shut. It had a unique... That's how it says slammed. See?
Capital letters? Oh, no, yeah. Slanted letters.
Yeah.
Slanted capital.
It had a unique sound that I recognized immediately as the kitchen/basement door. There were no windows open that could have caused a draft. Our dog was asleep on the second floor. I was on the second floor. My parents were both asleep in the third floor attic, had been converted to a master bedroom. None of us could have shut the door. Frickin' terrified. I worked up the courage to go investigate, carrying my hilariously teeny pocket knife for protection. As I went downstairs, I turned on every light. When I reached the kitchen, the door was wide open. Even more freaked out, I ran back up to bed, leaving the lights on. A minute or two later, I heard a definite shh, okay, okay, from downstairs. I laid in bed and was ready to accept my demise. Eventually,
Okay.
real. I somehow fell asleep, and in the morning, I was there first downstairs. I woke up before my parents and dog, and found that the lights were all off and the basement door had been shut again.
I don't like that.
I,
I did think it's funny that they were just willing to accept their demise.
that is
Just
also
laying
funny.
in bed, like, well,
And
yeah, it's over.
thinking about that situation is really creepy, but I really like the top reply to that comment where it just says, "Dang, sounds like you were robbed." It's just someone broke into their house.
Probably, honestly, if we want to go the serious route.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay. Now, how much time do you spend at home alone?
Me,
Yeah.
not a lot at all. My stepmom works from home.
Yeah, I'm not home alone much either nowadays, especially when I'm gone all day at working or at
Yeah.
school. But during the summer, I am more. But this is also from Ask Reddit. It's what is the scariest or creepiest thing that has happened to you when you were home alone?
Okay.
And I'm just gonna read a couple of these, and I think we'll probably wrap it up. But
I have a few very short ones to cover after that.
okay,
But
awesome. So, it was raining pretty hard one night, and I was about to go to bed. Our dog decided to start going nuts, barking at the corner of the family room. We had just moved in, so there wasn't anything in there, but she just kept constantly barking at nothing. I tried to pull her away, but she wasn't having any of it. She started showing her teeth and snarling, which she never does. I figured there must be an animal outside, so I turned on the deck lights. Deck is off the family room, and peer outside. Nope, nothing. I wasn't about to go outside because of the rain, and I didn't see anything anyway. So I dragged the dog to the bedroom, but she just won't shut up. Poor dog. Finally, decide to get my shoes, and umbrella on, and walk around the house. Braver than I am. Found one of my neighbors curled up along the side of the deck, trying to protect himself from the rain. He's disabled and a little slow. He usually goes out for walks in the neighborhood. He got caught in the rain and couldn't find his house. If my dog hadn't gone nuts, he might have been out there all night, and who knows what could have happened. The ending the comment kind of sums it up for me. It's totally not the ending I expected. So happy you decided to go out and check on the
that's a
situation.
lot happier than you anticipated.
Yeah, that ended up not being creepy.
Dogs are so cool.
Dogs just know everything.
Yeah, that's so hype.
Yeah, I know.
I love dogs.
Okay, I got one more. So.
Okay.
I was home alone one night in middle school. I was in my room, which is right above our kitchen, watching TV. I'd already shut all the lights off downstairs because I was eventually going to fall asleep and didn't want to get yelled at for leaving the lights on. So I'm laying in the bed, and the family dog, a Chesapeake Bay Retriever?
Chesapeake Bay.
Chesapeake Bay?
Chesapeake Bay Retriever.
I'm not a big dog guy. I didn't know what a
Chesapeake Bay is an actual location. It has nothing to do with dogs, but not a big history guy either, apparently.
Oh, okay. Chesapeake Retriever, anyways. Was lying next to...
Keep going.
Was lying next to me when I hear cabinet doors open and shut. It wasn't like they all opened at once and they shut, but more like one after another. For a few seconds. I freeze and look at the dog, who at this point was an old lady, who perked up and looked at me. I peek out my window that overlooks our driveway and didn't see anything. Now, I don't think anyone was in the house because while the dog was lazy AF, she was a great guard dog and she would have responded if the door opened or whatever. So after a few seconds, the dog gets up and starts moving towards the stairs, and I decide to follow, fully confident that if anyone was down there, she would scare them. I grab my softball bat and my cell phone and follow her downstairs. As we come downstairs, I notice the lights are on in the kitchen, and I dial 911 because I know I shut the lights off prior to going upstairs. When we get in the kitchen, all the cabinet doors were open, which was obviously not how I left it. That's when I noticed that the door was still locked, so I thought whatever did this was still in the house.
Ugh.
So I quickly ran upstairs to my parents' closet and called my parents and told them what's up. They came home and obviously didn't find anyone or any trace of anyone being in the house. We still do not know why the light was on and cabinet doors were open, but we had some other paranormal like occurrences happen around that time, so we chalked it up to the household ghost.
Silly household ghost.
Just opening the cabinets, scaring the dogs.
Was there like a dog transformed into an old lady or something like halfway through the story?
It was just saying
And you
the dog was old.
Oh, I thought
It said it weirdly, but that was what
yeah, I thought it meant that like just she turned and her dog was an old woman. I was like, what's happening here? I was like, you're not gonna go on that? Like,
it was like the dog was old AF. Basically.
okay. So I don't think we can properly end a like Reddit horror stories video without going over the classic of 2-sentence horror stories.
Oh
So
yes.
I was about to ask you. I'm assuming now you do. You know what those are?
I love
So,
2 sentence horror.
for anyone who doesn't know what it is, it's pretty obvious. It's just like a horror story that is done in 2 sentences, and sometimes they can be hilarious. Sometimes they can actually be kind of scary. So I have just a selection of like 6, 7. I genuinely don't know. It's either 6 or 7. I'm not counting. That's not a bit. I don't know. Okay, so first one. All my life, my parents have told me not to open the basement door, but I got curious and disobeyed them. What is the glowing ball in the sky, and why does it hurt my eyes? You get it?
I don't get it.
It's like saying that like the parents have refused to. They're in the basement. So they saw the sun for the first time.
I was thinking the sun. I was like, it sounded like it described the sun, but it didn't pop in my head that they were locked in the basement.
Yeah.
Man.
That stuff like that actually happens.
Yeah.
Which is always scary to think about. When the kidnapper had me guess where he kept my daughter, I went for the basement and he said correct, allowing me to see her. But when I found her severed head in there, I learned that every other choice would have been correct as well. That one's almost funny. The way it's correct is almost like silly, but it's like that. It's a serious topic. But I think some of these can just be funniest in general, even if they're like completely serious.
Christian, none of that is funny.
I think it's kind of funny, but like not finding a severed head, but it's just the like the way it's done. I don't know. I think I've read so many bad 2-sentence horror stories that even the good ones kind of get to me a little bit. Next, so please take me instead. I screamed, grabbing at the 2 men who took my child. Sorry, ma'am. Children only, they said as they continue loading up the last lifeboat on the ship. Good old human greed and selfishness.
It's a Titanic.
That's a real one for sure. Tinder is completely useless, and I don't have a single match. If I don't find another way to start a campfire tonight, I'll freeze to death. That's a serious one, but it's just so funny.
Is that serious? I think it's meant to be funny.
I think it's supposed to be serious, but it is a good joke. But they say we have a primal sense that we can just feel when someone is watching us. It's been a few weeks, and it's clear that you do not have that sense.
Ooh.
That one's creepy for sure.
I think you would sense if I was watching you.
You think? What do you mean? You'd sense eyes watching you? Is that what you said?
I think you would sense if I was watching you.
Oh yeah, I tend to know if somebody's looking at me.
He wouldn't sense it. Trust.
I'll be looking around my bedroom all night. This is the last one. I forgot to grab something. I'll be right back, said Mom. As she rounded the corner out of sight, the cashier began ringing up our groceries. It's not on, buddy.
Oh man, I love 2-sentence horror stories.
There's some bangers.
Oh.
I wish I had a few examples of bad ones, but I didn't think that.
I'll give you an example of a bad story.
Give me a 2-sentence horror story.
A bad 2-sentence horror story. I've made it to the end of this podcast, yet I am not subscribed. That's a terrible story. You should be subscribed. Remember to subscribe to That Goes Awesome on YouTube. If you've made it this far, you might as well subscribe because you've watched like the whole thing. And
True.
that means you enjoyed our content. So you're going to keep enjoying our content. That is on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, and Instagram. If you search That Goes Awesome on any of those, you will find us. Ain't that right, Christian?
It is.
And you will get to join us on our spooky adventures.
Spooky adventures.
Well,
Are the ghost hunting video?
Stay tuned next year.
Next Halloween.
Oh, anyways, this was fun. I like this.
I love spooky time. I hate that the next time we are seen on here will not be spooky anymore.
I don't know. Oh, we'll see you in.
That goes Thanksgiving.
We'll see you on episode 50.
Know.
I don't know.
50.
No, maybe more than that.
I think like next Halloween.
Yeah, 75 probably. There's 52 weeks in a year.
Episode 67.
Okay, anyways, I'm going to end it so Christian doesn't make any more bad jokes. I have been Jaden.
I'm still Christian.
And we are spooky. Goodbye.
Man, ghosts are real.